This is October 3rd, Thursday. Before I go to the department, I wanted to record this video for you. And then today, I'm gonna put some of the description for the program that actually opened last night. And still I don't see them on the AAPM website due to rebuilding a new version. But I wanted to move forward to talk about Skype interview. Therefore, imagine that you applied, you met the deadline, and you did whatever you could do for your resume, your cover letter. Still, I'm waiting. You put your comments about if you wanted something more about any of those things that we explained in the past. That maybe we can work on it because we have started. It's still we cannot really start the application till October 9 that you have the match number basically, because you don't right now, you cannot buy a match number. And then second, I want to talk about the Skype. Therefore, imagine that you got the Skype from the program that you want, because apparently the past 2 years everything becomes a little bit complicated respect to the past, because in the past there were a couple programs that were just doing the Skype, and most of the people just inviting 10 to 12 people for an on-site interview. But this is not the scenario, at least from the 2 years ago, and especially this year that I did my interview for the residency. Therefore, in some programs, even they ask you for 2 Skype interview before you get invited to the on-site interview, which is super stressful. And at the same time, you will see some program, they had even 50 application. They could have from 40 application to 100, 110 application. And then some program actually, even they have 40 or 50 application, and still they invite 20 to 30 people for just a Skype interview to make sure they get whatever they want or whoever they want for the next residence in their department. Therefore, this way they wanted to, on your side, you really care about you get matched. Also on the other side, they wanted to get matched too, because also this is another danger for the program, that they don't get matched at all, because all of the program, they get matched to the other candidates, which we talk about the match also algorithm later. But the couple important things is really basic principles for the Skype interview. Therefore, for me, I bought actually a professional camera, like a Logitech, that is beside of my laptop. And also, I bought also a microphone, Yeti microphone that you can find from $60 to over to $300. That you have the quality of the camera. The reason that I'm saying this, that because I did for the beginning of my interview, I used my phone, and the phone is so strange because you go somewhere, you don't have the signal, and right away somebody calls you on your phone and you get shocked, and then you use the connection and you wanted to talk to the person, and also you are not relaxed because you should hold your phone or put it in a subway that it doesn't slide or doesn't mess up. Sometimes you touch something, the camera is gone. Therefore, you don't want it to deal with that at the day of the interview. You want to just be relaxed. Therefore, I definitely make sure that I find the right place to sit and check my internet a day before, and almost also an hour, half an hour before my interview. It happened to me, one of my interview that I had, and it was very good center, that I sat in the office, the postdoc office, and I put even the label at the door that the interview is in process. And they asked me two questions, and all of a sudden a person came and started knocking at the door and distracted whole scenario. I lost my concentration, and I lost the interview, and I couldn't get the on-site interview. Therefore, it's very crucial you go to a very quiet place when you have a Skype interview, and make sure that everything, the internet, your camera, your setting, if you are Skype or whatever, Zoom, everything set up in your computer, because you don't want it to deal the last minute with a stress from that scenario. And second of all, some of the interviews are with one person, some of the interviews with more than one person. Therefore, the basic concept for the Skype interview is not really going to the details of your resume too much, because that they're gonna deal with it mostly in on-site interview. But they wanted to see that you are a real person. You are not a fake person, basically, because you just submitted a bunch of documents online and they know you at all. Therefore, basic is they wanted to know if they can communicate well. You can speak English or whatever language they wanted you to speak. Basically, we are speaking English. And then you can communicate with people. And then some simple questions that we can go in another video about, like what kind of question they might ask you. And then I also suggest, because some program they might ask you clinical question, but I definitely recommend that if you are not really feeling comfortable about the subject or about the clinical procedure that you might have observed or seen in the clinic, but you don't have really hands-on, don't talk about it too much, because it happened to me about a procedure that I talk about it in a Skype, then million question after that. How you did that, what was your tolerance, how you could that, if you had this kind of didn't come up good, what are you gonna do next? Therefore, please be aware that when you wanted to talk, exactly take it as much as they wanted you to answer. Don't talk about too much and don't go too much in the detail. Just be sufficient for the questions, precise, because the Skype interview is going to be 10 to 15 minutes. In some program, they might take it to the half an hour. Therefore, the second thing also is always have a questions for the program director or the faculty they're going to interview. That shows that you're really interested in their program. You already know their program because you studied their website. And don't go there and when they talk, okay, it's your turn, do you have any question from us? And you say, oh, I think I got everything. That is not enough. That means that you are not fully interested in the program. Therefore, that might get from you the chance of getting on-site interview. Thank you for everything and have a wonderful day ahead of you. And I definitely post this video with the link in description for you. And I'm hoping you have a good luck for this year and get matched for the residency. And have a wonderful day and talk to you soon. Bye.